What if you could control time? Imagine it. The world around you could be frozen. All your mistakes could be erased. You could jump ahead to any moment you wanted. No deadlines, no regrets, no waiting. That question haunted me for years. I am a scientist. My life is built on logic, cause and effect, the steady tick of the clock. But sometimes, I wondered, what if there was a way to break free from time's grip? One night, under a sky scattered with cold stars, I found the answer. Or maybe, the answer found me. It began as a strange idea, a fantasy, a science fiction story I told myself as I drifted off to sleep, but I never guessed how real and how dangerous it would become. I learned firsthand, time is not a toy. If you try to master it, it might just erase you instead. It was raining the evening I found the device, the kind of rain that soaks through your coat and makes the world feel distant, almost dreamlike. Each drop drummed against the glass, echoing in the empty streets. The city felt empty, washed in the yellow glow of old streetlights. The reflections on the wet pavement stretched out like golden rivers, and every shadow seemed deeper, more mysterious than usual. I walked home past the abandoned warehouse by the river, a place I usually avoided. Tonight, though, something about it drew me in. A sense that something was waiting. A broken window caught my eye. Something flickered inside. A faint, unnatural light. Curiosity tugged at me, stronger than caution. I hesitated, but the urge to know was overwhelming. I stepped through the gap, glass crunching under my boots. The air inside was thick with dust and the scent of rust and old wood. The warehouse was filled with dust and shadows, every corner hiding secrets. My footsteps echoed, making the silence feel even heavier. I saw crates stacked haphazardly, rusty tools scattered about, and a workbench cluttered with forgotten things. It looked like no one had been here for years. On that bench sat a small, metallic box. It hummed softly, casting a gentle glow that seemed out of place in the gloom. The light pulsed, almost like a heartbeat. I picked up the box. It was oddly warm, as if it remembered being held before. The sensation sent a shiver up my spine, both comforting and unsettling at once. There were 3 buttons on the top, labeled pause, rewind, and forward. The labels were etched in a language I almost recognized, but couldn't quite place. No instructions, no markings, no sign of who left it there. Thunder boomed outside, rattling the broken glass and making the shadows dance. The storm seemed to close in around the warehouse. I slipped the device into my pocket and hurried home, heart pounding in my chest. Every step felt urgent, as if I was being watched, as if the night itself wanted to keep its secret. I had no idea what I was holding, but I couldn't let it go. The weight of it in my pocket felt significant, like it was meant for me. My mind raced with possibilities. Was it real? Was it safe? Was it what I thought? I couldn't shake the feeling that my life had just changed, and that whatever this device was, it was only the beginning of something much bigger. At home, I placed the device on my kitchen table. The buttons glowed faintly blue, green, and red. I ran my fingers along the smooth metal. It felt alive, like it was waiting for something. I stared at the 3 buttons. Pause, rewind, forward. They were simple, almost too simple, but I knew scientific instruments could be that way, function hidden behind elegance. I pressed pause. The world went silent. The clock on the wall stopped. A drop of water hung in midair, frozen. My heartbeat echoed in my chest. I unpaused and everything snapped back as if nothing happened. I pressed rewind. The hands of the clock spun backward. My coffee, half drunk, refilled itself. I felt dizzy, but nothing hurt. Finally, I pressed forward. The sun outside jumped higher in the sky. The clock leaped ahead. 3 buttons. Infinite possibilities. I felt a thrill I'd never known before. The next morning, I couldn't wait to try more. I paused time and walked through the city. Cars hung in the air like sculptures. Wind froze in my hair. I could touch the rain, each drop hard and cold as glass. I rewound small moments, spilled coffee, a dropped pen, a stubbed toe. Each time the world obeyed my will. It was perfect. I laughed out loud, giddy as a child. I sped forward past boring meetings and long subway rides. Suddenly, hours would vanish, and I'd be where I wanted to be. No one noticed. To them, nothing had changed. But I noticed. I felt powerful. like I had become unchained from the world. I could fix anything, skip anything, undo anything. Each day the device became harder to resist. I told myself it was just research, but inside, I knew I was addicted to the feeling. Once I got my hands on the device, I couldn't resist using it to perfect every aspect of my life. It was like holding the power to rewrite reality itself, and I was eager to see just how far I could push it. Every awkward conversation, every wrong word, I rewound and tried again. If I stumbled or said something embarrassing, I'd simply reset and deliver the perfect response. It was as if I could edit my life in real time, erasing every social misstep, every mistake at work, every dropped tool, every burned dinner. I erased and redid. No more clumsy moments or ruined meals. I could fix anything, big or small, and present the best version of myself to the world. I stopped being afraid of failure. The fear that used to hold me back vanished, replaced by a boldness I'd never felt before. Why worry when you get unlimited do-overs? Every setback became just another chance to get it right. I felt almost invincible, like nothing could truly go wrong. I was sharper, smarter, more confident. People noticed. My co-workers started to look at me differently, impressed by my sudden streak of success and composure. My boss called me into his office. "You've changed," he said, eyeing me with a mix of curiosity and suspicion. "It's like you know what's going to happen before it does." His words hung in the air, and I could tell he was both impressed and unsettled. I smiled, knowing he was right. I had an edge no one else could see. I even started predicting the lottery numbers, winning just enough to avoid suspicion. It was easy to make life a little more comfortable, to smooth out the rough edges. My life became a string of perfect moments, stitched together by the device. Every day felt like a highlight reel, full of laughter, success, and effortless happiness. But perfection has a price. I slept less, my mind racing with possibilities, my memories blurred together, each day overlapping with the last, making it hard to tell what was real. Sometimes, I wasn't sure which version of the day was real. Had I lived this moment before, or was it just another reset? My hands trembled with excitement and fear. The power was intoxicating, but it was also starting to scare me. I convinced myself it was worth it. After all, who wouldn't want to live without mistakes, to always be their best self? Who wouldn't want a perfect life? The temptation was impossible to resist, and I told myself I deserved it, but the world around me was beginning to change. Little things started to feel off. Objects seemed to flicker, and reality itself felt less stable, as if my endless edits were leaving cracks in the world I thought I controlled. It started small. At first, it was barely noticeable, a flicker in the device, a momentary stutter that seemed harmless. I thought it was just a glitch, something that would fix itself. Then, stranger things began to happen. A bird froze in mid-flight, suspended in the air, but its shadow kept moving across the pavement as if nothing was wrong. It was like reality itself was splitting at the seams. A car honked in the distance, but the sound echoed far too long, stretching out unnaturally, lingering in the air, like a memory that refused to fade. I shrugged it off as nerves, or maybe just a lack of sleep. I told myself I was imagining things, that it was all in my head. But the cracks in reality only grew wider, more obvious. When I paused time, objects around me would tremble, their edges blurring and vibrating as if they were struggling to stay in place. Even the air felt thick, heavy with distortion. I tried rewinding, hoping to fix things, but sometimes the world snapped back with a violent jolt. Colors would smear and trail behind like wet paint dragged across a canvas, leaving everything feeling unstable. Forward jumps made entire hours vanish in an instant. Time slipped away, leaving me with a hollow, empty feeling, as if I was missing something important, something I could never get back. I tried to stop using the device, to put it away and forget about it. But I couldn't resist. It called to me, whispering promises of control, of escape from the chaos. When I left it alone, I felt sick, restless, anxious, like I'd lost something vital. My hands would shake, my mind racing with the urge to use it just one more time. I hid it in drawers, under floorboards, anywhere I could think of. But no matter how hard I tried, I always found myself taking it back out, unable to let go. I told myself, just one more time, just one more fix. But it was never enough. The craving only grew stronger. Soon, People around me started to act strange. They moved differently, glancing at me with suspicion, as if they could sense something was wrong. My neighbor stared at me for too long, her face flickering and dissolving into static, like a corrupted video feed. I wondered if she could see the cracks too. The city itself grew quiet, streets emptying out, a tense stillness settling over everything. It felt as if the world was holding its breath, waiting for something to break, for reality to finally shatter. I realized, with a chill running down my spine, that reality itself was starting to erode. The boundaries between what was real and what was broken were fading, and I was at the center of it all. One night, I pressed forward, but the device sparked. The world flickered, day and night spun past outside my window, colors swirling in a nightmare blur. I let go of the button, but nothing stopped. The device rewound on its own. I watched myself walk backward, my words unspoken, my dinner uneaten. I screamed, but the sound died in my mouth. Everything around me faded, like an old photograph left in the sun. Walls vanished, streets melted away. People I knew blinked out, erased from memory and from existence. The world shrank, pixel by pixel, until only I remained. I was alone, drifting in a gray void, clutching the device. I pressed every button, desperate. Nothing happened. The device was hot, burning my hand. I understood, at last, what I had done. Each change I made had erased something. Reality was breaking because I broke its rules. In the empty void, the device glowed one last time. A new button appeared. Reset. My mind raced. If I pressed it, maybe I could go back, undo everything, let time flow as it should. Or, I could do nothing, and let the emptiness swallow me. I pressed reset. The world rebuilt itself in a rush of color and sound. I was back in the warehouse, rain tapping the roof. The device sat on the bench. I stared at it, shaking, and left it behind, running out into the night. But as I left, I saw a shadow move inside. Someone else, or something else, reaching for the device. The cycle was not over. Maybe it never would be. So I ask you, if you found a device that could control time, would you press the button?